Welcome to Everything But the Kitchen Dink, the podcast where we discuss all things pickleball with your hosts, Rob and Andy.
Welcome back to Everything But the Kitchen Dink. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Robert. And welcome to the show, Gregory Storm, who, just to say, the founder and CEO of RAW Pickleball is just the biggest understatement in the world, which we will get into now. Welcome, Gregory.
Yeah, welcome, Gregory. Great to have you
Hi,
on the
guys.
show.
Hi, Rob and Andy.
Are you in St. Petersburg?
I'm actually in New York currently. I just ran a big festival and a boot camp up in Albany, New York. So this is home away from home in Florida.
Okay, so are you Florida born?
Parents are in New York, so New York is again home. I think even being in Florida for over 30 years, but something about being in New York with your family that is always home, right? So
yeah, I get it. I've got family in New York. I've got a mother-in-law in Florida. The distance is not quite enough. 5,000 miles is not quite enough, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
You obviously like your family more than I like mine.
Oh, well.
But okay,
well, let's start at the beginning.
Sure.
So tell us a bit, before we get into the pickleball stuff, tell us about your background, your sporting background, and how it sort of then developed into pickleball. But let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, so I was a big racquetball player. I think I played tennis, but mostly racquetball was my game, right? And now you go out to the racquetball courts and it's very sparse, so sometimes I wish I just could pick up a racket again and start hitting it around, but now you got no one to play with, right? So but in reality, pickleball started for me is I lived in Lauderdale for a long time, and then I got tired of it and I moved over to Naples, and this is when pickleball had just got going for me, with Kyle Yates and a couple other folks, that I'm kind of the OG, I guess, for 13 years, right? So that's a long time. So I actually was in a hair business for a long time, and I was at the salon, and someone came in with a pickleball shirt on, and they said, I said, "Where are you playing pickleball? I'm looking for that," because I actually went home to New York and I played indoors on the gym courts, kind of like what England has mostly now, which is crazy, right? So when I see your courts, I'm like, I remember that, So
for us then.
Well, it's nice to know that's how you started as well, and maybe there is hope for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
There might be hope. Yes. Without tape, right? Without tape.
Yeah.
Well, everybody ignores the kitchen line anyway, so you don't really need.
Right. Always make sure you know the color of the tape so you can wear the same color shoes that day.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So were you high level at tennis? Did you play competitively racquetball? Does any of that transfer?
I think more football, soccer was kind of my sport. You know what I mean? Skateboarding, aggressive inline. All those type of sports was more my speed. But I don't know. The pickleball thing just kind of, like I said, came into play because Naples was quite boring for me, being there. It's just, they call it, a movie and dinner in bed by 10, so, but I did watch that grow, which is the US Open. That used to be a skate park and just a hockey rink, like an outdoor hockey rink. And so I grew up in Naples with the progression of what that is today. So it's been cool to watch that grow, to what it is. You know what I mean? So again, playing with Kyle Yates and his parents that are now high-end referees out on the circuit and things like that. So pickleball is a small world for sure. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Okay, so you picked it up fairly quickly, I take it, and then you played. Tell us about your actual pickleball career. You won some big medals.
Yeah, shoebox full of medals. That's where they go. They go in a big shoebox. You know what I mean? So I'd melt them all down if I could and make some money if they were real silver and gold and bronze. Right? So that's the only value to me of those. But I did play the U.S. Open, the first one and like the third, but I don't know. I think it kind of lost its luster when it didn't have enough referees for the first year. I actually refereed in the first year of that U.S. Open because they didn't have enough referees. So
really? Right. Okay.
yeah, so it's still a non-sanctioned event, I guess, because every match has to be refereed. It's strange. Pickleball is, I mean, we'll get into this later, but the political big pickle, I call it, is out of control right now in the U.S. There's no doubt.
So are you still in touch with Kyle? Are you still playing with him occasionally? And
we chat now. Now he's kind of probably going into the Hall of Fame, which what is he, 27 or 28 now? going to the Hall of Fame. It's kind of funny, but he did open a pickler over in Colorado. He's living in Colorado.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, so we chat every so often just to see what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. And are you still playing?
Yeah, I still play tournament, but I've dropped off PPA. I'm not supporting any big events anymore. APP maybe, but quite boring to me now. I'd rather, I guess, a little bit about the brand, because we're kind of a grassroots organic brand. I enjoyed playing a round robin, 5-6 games, and then going right into playoffs. I enjoy that. Now what I've seen with big PPA circuit and this and that is just, the firing of Guangdong. Just all this weird stuff's happening, right? It's just like a big money grab. It's huge money grab right now. And I feel bad for the amateur players that are still on that circuit. So, what is that? 5% of pickleball and 95% is rec. You know what I mean? So, they're paying into something. They play 3 games and then they can't get beyond bronze if they come up through the bottom bracket, right? So it's quite unfortunate to see how that's happened, but there's still a lot of great smaller events and festivals that I've seen, so I kind of like that vibe a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And is it still, obviously we all know about the boom in America and it's now booming around the world, but has it plateaued in America? Is it still booming, going strong, or are people sort of moving away now?
I think it's strong, of course, but again, 95% of that is rec play. You go to these courts that they've built around here and they're packed, right? And then you say, hey, you want to play with my tournaments or play a tournament? Because there's a tournament every weekend now. It's a money ball now. Now everything's a money ball here. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's a money ball. Right. Because you got all these young kids coming in and guess what? They want to make some money. Right. Because the parents go tell them to get a job and
they'd rather play football and earn some money.
Yeah. They pay $100 and then they make 150 because they had to pay 100.
Yeah.
Or they had to split.
I guess, we're used to things being close. We've got a tournament that we would consider a long way away at the weekend, and it's a 3-hour drive. But I guess in America, you're looking at flights and expensive tournament fees and hotels. And I understand that, that could be an issue.
So tell us about your how you got into coaching. I guess you're a coach now as well.
So
I'm still doing. Yeah.
Yep. So again, I ran the circuit for a long time. It was fun doing that. But then it just got a little stale, like I said. But I'll still play events. But now I'm 53, right? So I'll play senior pro or I'll play 50 plus. I am not playing. I'm not chasing those kids around anymore. And you know what I mean? I'll hit them down the line.
No, we don't look it, but we're also.
I'm actually. I know it'll surprise you, but I'm actually 53 as well.
Oh, are you?
Well, yeah. I know.
You get a little more rain and dreariness over there.
A bit weathered, I guess.
Sorry, weathered. Yeah, good one. Good one. So but yeah, the coaching for me, is really just because I get this a lot because I have an academy in St. Pete, right? So that portion of everything, because everybody again is so wanting to learn pickleball and just get into the sport. So, I mean, they call me and I'm like, let's go. But, you know, a lot of people come in and they think they can learn pretty fast. And usually that's not the case. You know, it's kind of like, you know, they'll ask me how many sessions do you think I need after I do the first evaluation. And it's like, well, you know, you can gauge it pretty much, but probably I would tell them 5 to 10 and just try to, you know, get them into, you know, a package deal where they can learn the right way. Otherwise they get into bad habits. And then when they call me and say, hey, Greg, I've got some bad habits. Can you help me with my game? You know, then it's like, oh boy, because that's the worst to teach that, because they've got this thing now. It could be serve, and then they come into the, you know, into the area, and then they're going to get on the return, they're going to get jammed every time. So I mean, it's just weird, different little things that happen. But the academy's been going 5 years, and it's doing great. You know, so it's just it's a good vibe. And, you know, the paddles for us is just kind of an accessory, right? So, I mean, everybody comes with their Amazon paddles, and then I'm like, well, try this, you know what I mean? And like, oh, wow, that's really cool, you know? So, and then they can see the difference, and I'll be like, hey, send it back to Amazon or something.
Seeing as though you've mentioned the paddles, I want to get onto that, but tell us how the journey into RAW happened. How did that sort of come into play?
Yeah, was it something you thought about for a long time, or it just happened and you went with it?
So when you're sponsored, again, 13 years, when you're sponsored by Gearbox for 2 years, Selkirk, you know, all these big brands, they sponsor you. And then it's like you're at their mercy to ask them for a paddle if you need it sometimes, or, you know, Franklin's been really kind to me for a long time with their balls. We did photo shoots with him. I'm like, well, I got a brand, so I mean, try not to put that stuff, you know what I mean? So I still support other companies, but the thing is that, yeah, so I did help try to build another company. I don't really want to mention the name because it kind of got a little funky, and it got weird. But the company was getting built strong. And then I said, hey, we got to partner up. We got to do something here, because, you know, you're making all the money and I'm giving you all my pickleball marketing material, and I'm giving you all my you know, my folks, you know what I mean, that's been selling your paddles, you know. So once the guy undercut me and did a couple different things, I had a pro model that they were making as well. So there's your giveaway. You can Google me and then get the pro model name, and then you'll know the brand. Anyways, so it just ended up being kind of nasty a little bit. So yeah, so that's kind of really where I started the brand. So I said, I'm just going to go do my own thing, you know. Okay. But it was hard to find manufacturing. The correct manufacturing is kind of difficult. A lot of people say that everything's the same, but it's not, you know what I mean? You've got to really do a lot of work to find a good manufacturer. So I did want to tie in the brand to something, because I'm used to that old school mentality where you could play a tournament and have 3 brackets for $45. You know what I mean? It used to be great back then like that. So I was like, well, why don't we give back with the brand a little bit? And why don't we support, you know, local bee farmers? We'll make this a bee brand, because I'm really into, my allergies were terrible, you know, terrible allergies, you know. So I just got tired of allergy shots, this, that. But the raw local honey actually supports, right? Also, if we don't have bees and pollinators, we don't have food out there. A lot of people don't understand that. So that was a big thing for me. And I was just like, let's just make this into this brand that gives back and supports. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay, so the raw comes from the raw honey. Is that what
it does? And then rain and wind, rain above, you know, rain on, stay on top, you know what I mean? So it kind of it comes together a little bit, you know. So I think that's important to kind of tie it all in.
I don't know if you know this, but we're from Manchester, and the bee in Manchester is the symbol of Manchester. It's called the Manchester bee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't know. Yeah. So it's actually.
Yeah, we were curious about the bee.
Yeah.
No wonder you can't put that paddle down.
Well,
you can't put it down to the point where I've still not used it.
Seeing as though we're talking about paddles, let's talk about these paddles? Because we've got 3 different ones here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one I'm playing with, which is probably one of your newest ones, isn't it? The foam, it's an all foam paddle.
Correct.
So you actually design them yourself? Do you, I mean,
Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess college paid off doing art, right? So, I mean,
right, okay.
I paint a lot too. So, I mean, it's cool because
Okay.
it's cool.
Because the designs are really, really funky. I'm really, I love the designs. I think they stand out. You know, if you're on a court with this paddle, you know who makes it.
Yeah, and also that's very important. The look of a paddle, you want it to look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, just tell us a bit about this foam one for starters, and what the internals of it. We don't have to bore people with all the specs and everything because that's not what we do here. But just give us a brief overview of the foam one for a start.
Yeah, so I mean that's something new for us, like I said. But you know, we did produce the 13 millimeter. It's a little bit not as funky, but
yeah,
strong and it's fun. So I mean,
is that foam as well? That one.
We're going after that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going after that. So I mean, the whole idea of we've got to compete and stay. You know, like because all this stuff is coming out, like you know, different brands are coming out with different foam models now. It's crazy, right? So that's where it's getting crazy in the USA right now. So, you know, we're still playing around with some of the interiors on that paddle, but I'm really liking that paddle right now. So,
well, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. Sorry.
So I just think it's one of our strongest paddles that we have, you know, because we've kind of went from, I mean, we're still going to stay with our titanium, you know, paddles that are really fun too. You know, that just kind of that surface on the inside of that. We really like this titanium model right now because that surface is great. But, you know, you have to go and again, compete with everybody out there right now. So if we don't have something that is kind of trending, then, you know, you kind of get in trouble and you get behind a little bit. Right. So, the gist of that paddle, though, is definitely a great, fun paddle, and a lot of people just can't put it down. I can't put it down. Every time I go back to, you know, one of our older models, it's just like, I'm like, wow. But it takes about 3 or 4 weeks to get used to that paddle because you need to kind of control that, which is a good thing because you soften your game with that paddle now, right? So if you go back to that old paddle that you might have had, now you've learned your soft game, which is important in pickleball.
Yeah, I think it's helped my game, definitely. And I mean, I was playing with it and then Andy said, let me have a go. So I let him have a go. And I used one of his paddles. I think it's the Yola Pro. Is it Pro 4?
Pro 4, yeah.
Pro 4 that he's using. And after 2 shots, I said, can you give it me back, please?
Right.
So I said, I've got to. We're playing after this, and so I've got to use it tonight.
He's going to have a go tonight.
I'm going to have to tie him down. But just talking a little bit about the foam. Obviously, you know what you're saying is that as a manufacturer, there's a pressure now to get with the foam paddles. How long does it take for you to react to see in the market that it's going the foam way, and then obviously the problem with the band paddles? How quickly can you say, right, I need to do this and get them out? Because I'm sure there's a time where you're watching others come out and you're frustrated that yours haven't arrived yet. How does that work?
Usually we're ahead of the game a little bit. You know, you have to be just do a little research. You know, I've again done it long enough to kind of try to be ahead of the game a little bit. You know, you just get a lot of different weird flack, you know what I mean? Because everybody wants to be the only foam paddle out there. Now there's 20, 30 paddles, and like, okay, well, go threaten everybody, and you know, everything's a lawsuit and this and that. And it's just like after a while, it's like, guys, in 6 months, it's going to be something else. You know what I mean? No one's going to care. You know what I mean? So it's just working with different interiors that work best for us and what feels good. Basically, what I've always told somebody is like, I'm making the paddles for myself to play with what I like. And if you like it, you can buy it. Otherwise, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because there's so many brands out there.
Do you think the governing body needs to sort of say, look, this is where it needs to end now? Because we've gone from carbon fiber to titanium to foam to this to that.
Kevlar,
do you think? Yeah. Do you think they need to say, right, the standard of paddle has to be this and that's it? Or do you think?
I think we should be able to play with whatever we want. We're starting a union right now. A bunch of smaller companies right now are starting a union called the PMA, which is the Pickleball Manufacturers Association, because we just can't compete with USAPA and them charging $7,000 every time there's a paddle submission. It's just not feasible for the smaller companies. So that's why I like pushing into international areas, because you guys are just coming on board. I mean, it's popular, but who says you have to play with a certain paddle that you really like?
Well, the problem is that at the moment the whole world is governed by USAP. Is it?
It is.
Yeah. So, and even in England, we've got the Open coming up in a couple of weeks, and Pickleball England goes by the rules of USAP.
Yeah.
So that's when you say, you're looking elsewhere, that we need changes elsewhere, because we've still got people turning up with illegal paddles who then get told no. And, I understand why they don't want paddles to get too powerful, because from a rec point of view and from an old point of view, but I don't know. I've heard people say that's the way racquetball went, and look where racquetball is now. But, maybe that's a bit of a generalization. So can you get people to change and get people to change outside of the USA?
So if you think about tennis, what do you have to do? You can play with any tennis racket that you want to play with, right? All you have to do is get it strung, right?
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. I mean, now it's just it's a monopoly. I just see it as a huge monopoly, and it's scary, right? So again, as a smaller brand, it's very hard to say, if I get someone saying, hey, you got to give us $100,000, otherwise you can't play with your paddles. What do you guys? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, do you see a power shift? Do you see USAP making way for someone else?
I see that
there's like boxing, where there'll be 10 different governing bodies.
I see there's a big lawsuit with Yola right now, and USAP has 2 million, and then Yola has 70 million. Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And that's good for the sport then.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. Again, just in starting, so long ago, I've just never seen anything so crazy and so monopolized, put it that way. And it's unfortunate for smaller brands, because this is kind of what they want to do. They want Franklin, they want Carbon, they want Paddle Tech, and they want, maybe Proton and Yola. Those are your brands. But again, that's the 5% of pickleball population playing pickleball. So everybody thinks if they go play a tournament, a festival this weekend, say you're playing your festival, and you think that you need a certain label on your paddle to play that festival. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, if someone can't handle the paddle that you're playing against or playing with, then get out of the sport. I don't know. As long as the parameters are the same, and you can't come in with this huge long. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So as long as the parameters and the shape is correct, I mean, you're not going to bring, salt and put stick them on your paddle. You know what I mean? It's just, when you're failing by a micron or something like that, and then you got to resubmit another $5,000 just to have them retest it the week after, and then you fail again, you got to give us another $5,000. I mean, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Did you come up? I mean, obviously you must have come up with these names, but the excluder.
The excluder. So I was just I sent you guys just a little bit of where I was this past weekend with a local bee farmer, and each paddle we have is named after something in the hive, which is the queen bee excluder. So that's
So this is Apis dorsata.
That's the giant honeybee in Latin.
God, I'm learning so much.
Yeah, and then we've got the Crimson Idol.
Yeah, it's an old Wasp song from rock and roll, but you know.
So can you give us maybe just give us an overview of the range so people out there can get an idea of, you know, do you have beginner paddles, intermediate and advanced? Is that how it works? Just give us an overview of what's available.
So I think the biggest thing for us is we like to do paddle collaborations with high schools and different things like that. I talked to Rob from Pickleball People. You know, he's been really kind to us the last couple of years, and you know, we've been going back and forth, but even doing a paddle collab with those guys. So basically looking to kind of get to the UK in October and spend a couple weeks with you guys and do some clinics and really get things moving. And I said, why don't we just do a paddle collab? And basically what I do when I come out and do these clinics is they'll get a rating, and then we'll give them one of our paddles, which is not really a lower level paddle, but it's not, you know, high end, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I think it's a great thing. I think Rob might have been a little concerned with, you know, that people didn't want to pay, you know, maybe, you know, 150 US, but when you're getting a paddle and a rating, I mean, that's paying for itself within the 3 hours, you know what I mean? So it's a cool thing. But again, they would get a paddle that is not less desirable, but you know what I mean? Every time I get one of those paddles away, at least they've got a great paddle. You know what I mean? It would be maybe that excluder that you just held up.
Yeah.
You know, that was the purple one. Is that what that was?
Absolutely.
Yep. So something like that. They'll get a free paddle like that.
Well, that's amazing. That is a fantastic paddle. I mean, what does that retail for anyway? US, like
that's $179.
Right. So it's like they're getting a paddle and they're getting the coaching. I mean,
and these paddles are really
3 hours of coaching.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
I mean, they should be paying that without the paddle.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, that's fantastic. I'm sure it'll sell out. I'm sure it'll be amazing. And I'll be on it. I'll be there. So
love it. Love it. Yeah. But that helps with our branding, right? So our marketing is kind of the paddles or whatever it is and the rating, but you're also, you'll laugh at me, but what happens like this past weekend, nine paddles sold of, you know, higher end paddles, even though they got a free one because they see coach playing with this guy. Oh, what's that? You know, so
just while I remember, for the listeners out there, if you are interested in seeing Greg and getting on one of these coaching courses and getting your paddle and everything, send us a DM and we'll sort it out for you. We'll put you in the right direction. So just a shout out to all the listeners because it will sell out very, very quickly.
I mean, do you have more details that you can tell our listeners about it now?
I don't think we do.
We'll generate some flyers and things of that nature. But we're planning October 11th for a festival, I think, in Wales up that way, and then we're going to move around up and down. So probably about 3 of these camps, 3 or 4 of these camps, if we can, within kind of northern and then southern England as well. So
brilliant.
Okay, so you're going to be on tour.
Coming on tour just like everybody else, right? But we're not going to the islands.
Bigger than Oasis.
We'll be eroders.
Right. But I mean, I think you know, it's good for me to show my face since it's already been there a couple years, the brand. I think it adds more value to what's there. I don't, you know, like Selkirk's not going to send their CEOs to England, you know, or Yola, you know. Again, that's part of being a smaller brand, organic. You know, I think it's important. And then I would ask you guys to, you know, find me, like I said, a local bee farmer that we could visit or talk to, and then, you know, get back.
Yeah. I'll be on it.
One thing I noticed on your website, which you don't have, which I wondered if you were going to have, is a nice bag to put these fantastic paddles in.
Yeah, so we've came up with bags. I'm a little greedy with the bags right now, so
yeah.
I keep telling Rob to get one so he can show it off, but he, you know, they have the pickleball people bags, so
you do have a bag then.
Oh yeah, it's super nice. So we just stole Yola's Tyson McGuffin's pink and black bag, and we got kind of like this logo on there with the jaguar and the bee. So it's pretty cool.
How would we get one if we wanted to buy one of those?
You gotta get Rob. Rob's my go-in.
Right. Okay. I'll speak to Rob. Yeah, okay. No problem.
So we talked about the paddles. How is it, you know, being in, you know, you talked about the negatives of the pickleball market. How how is it? Have companies? It must be really hard for small companies, and we sympathise. But you're going from strength to strength. Is that the way it's going? Are you excited for the future? Are you expanding? Do you have a team, or is it just you?
I mean, I'm excited to unionize with Crown Pickleball right now. This is a great ball. This is Crown Pickleball from Sacramento, and this is my ball sponsor. But this guy's done so much, and he's really the founder of this PMA right now, which is really cool because this ball was really, we think, the Vulcan that's out on the hot circuit right now. And that was on a big podcast, with Tyler Loom and Jimmy over there that do a lot of the stuff. I don't know if you know King of the Court podcast, but massive podcast. But anyways, one day, they just kind of took the Crown ball away and put the Vulcan ball there. And then it's like, so I'm excited for that PMA to get going. Just because we do have a lot of smaller brands that have developed a really good technology. Why should we be penalized for great technology and then we can never make better paddles? Everything has to stay the same. And then now we're in this, we can't be creative. That's no fun. That is not fun.
Do we know what's next after foam?
I don't know. Metal face? No, I don't. I have no idea. Yeah.
String.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So well, I did hear that some foam paddles will, after next May, some foam paddles will not be able to. They're done with it. So you'll have to spend more money to. It's a mess. It
really is.
I do feel for the smaller brands. It really is difficult, and hopefully, you'll engineer something different, and it'll come to fruition. That would be great.
Yeah, I think it's important to give back with whatever you do. I guess same thing with our festivals. We give back to mental health, which is cool too, and I think it has to tie into some sort of give back organization or something. Not just take so we can pay the pros. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So,
do you actually sponsor any pros at the moment?
What's that? Junior. We have a lot of little junior studs, man. I mean, that's the future, right? So I just don't trust anybody. If you pay somebody, they just jump onto the next bandwagon in 2 or 3 weeks, anyways, for another $10,000 or something like that. I rather put that back into paddles or put that back into a pickleball people collab, and then give those paddles away, and then there's more of the brand out there.
Okay, that's cool. And you touched on mental health. I know you do a lot. Tell us about what you do for the community, because it's amazing. I've been reading up on it.
Oh, yeah. So, again, when I run tournaments and stuff like that, I give back to a chapter here called NAMI, which is a national mental health organization, nonprofit. But, I think all of us have been touched somehow, with it. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to give back to something like that because, I've lost people to suicide and stuff like that. And I think I think there needs to be more awareness. It's just still not there,
That's a great thing that you're doing there. Yeah. Absolutely.
And also getting, you must have found that pickleball has changed many people's lives as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Although it's increased my mental health problems, but that's just me.
You're a better mathematician now. I still don't know the score half the time. Trust me.
No, we're in our 50s.
No one knows the score. It becomes a negotiation after a few points.
I can't even see any. I'm Mr. Magoo. I can't see lines anymore.
Talking about scores and ratings, really.
Oh, good.
I want to talk about this because it's a big bugbear of ours with DUPR. And
oh boy,
here we go.
I'm done with DUPR.
And a lot of people out there just don't like the rating system at the moment. Now you're involved. Tell us about your involvement. Is it called VAIR or VA1R?
Yeah. So verified.com is really the new algorithm that I've been working with. I've been with DUPR since day one. And I knew as a background for me is been a software engineer and tester and things like that. So just to see software like that, I'm like, wow. And they were just throwing it at everybody. You guys test it, we're not paying for it, So I saw how it was coming and growing. And I've been on, a couple Zoom calls with DUPR, and they wanted to know all these things and my feedback on it. So it's a mess. Their algorithm is just a really messy situation, where I got really frustrated with those guys was, I think, last year, I was like sitting at a five something. And then all of a sudden I lost one game. And I lost like 700 points. So I dropped down to like a 4-1. I'm like, what just happened? I have never seen such a massive drop like that.
That's crazy.
And they said it was my reliability because I hadn't played or something. Sometimes the scores don't come in, from pickleball brackets or whatever it is, some signups, right? So, I mean, sometimes those scores wouldn't come in. So it looks like you hadn't played. So that's what they blamed it on. I'm like, you guys delete everything. Cause I had a DUPR club, I bring people into DUPR, and it was a mess. I was so livid. And there's your mental abuse right there. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I still check people's DUPRs, if I see something going on in England, let me see what their DUPR is. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it works terribly, I think, for us, and possibly any country outside of the US, because we're growing here and we don't have enough tournaments, we don't have enough
we don't have enough DUPR tournaments.
Yeah, some are DUPR'd, some are not.
Yeah.
We don't know. We play guys, we push ourselves, we play 21-year-olds, we get hammered, and then our DUPR goes down.
Good point. So with this VAIR system, which I'm really liking now it's going to take probably another month to really get it solid for me in my head. But say 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, and I'm playing with a 3-5. You're going to hammer that 3-5 player or that 70-year-old, right?
Yeah.
But that game will not count in this VAIR system, this verified system, because the algorithm is set to like half a point or a point. Right. So that means that, that game won't count. Your games will still stick and they'll be in the system, but that 5-1 player is not going to get penalized because they played with a 3-5 player and you targeted that player. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I think it's important. It's also going to have it has a mixed doubles rating separate. It has an age separate bracket, rating. Those things are key that we really need.
Absolutely.
It's so simple. Why have we had to go through all this stress when it's so simple? Look, I do have sympathy with DUPR. Obviously, they must hear all the negative feedback, but then it still gets frustrating that we're 3 years into our journey and it's just getting worse.
Well, and you can create multiple DUPR accounts, and then you can be a 5-5 next week if you play with 5-5 players, right? And lose all the games.
Yeah.
But now if you lose and you're a lower level, you know how they're changing it now, right? So this weird thing, I want to see if Ben John's DUPR goes down when he wins 11-9 against a 6-5 player when he's a 7-5. It's just it doesn't make it. It's so backwards. So
go on.
Again, the verified. I'm bringing this VAIR software. Those will be my ratings. So if you run a league or a tournament that you have and you use the VAIR software, it's great because all that comes together. You can run it right off the platform. DUPR, you can't do that. You've got to submit just scores. That's all it is, right? Here you can run it. It's very cool. I just think that with a little bit of time, that algorithm will kind of iron itself out. Singles will be another piece pretty soon. They don't quite have the singles piece down yet, but
is it available now then, or is it something?
It will be. It will be.
It will be. Okay.
Is it a case of I'm a bit cynical. Obviously, DUPR's well in there. Maybe there's a lot of money involved. Is DUPR ever going to go and make way for a better system, or are we always going to have VAIR verified is going to come along, and we're still going to have DUPR. You know, I guess organizers are going to get confused, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd imagine. But I mean, DUPR is made for the pro circuit. What percentage is that?
Yeah, that's the problem.
5%.
Yeah.
Those guys will never change. They'll never fluctuate much within their play.
No,
MLP, and you know what I mean? But as soon as you start doing amateur MILP, right? The MILPs, right?
The milk. I love a good milk.
You want to play a MILP tournament with me? Yeah.
So can you get other countries and other tournaments, major tournaments, eventually to adopt this system?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, of course, to always go international. You know what I mean? I think that's key for that to happen. I know that these guys were just at a big meeting in Chicago over the weekend, and they did talk to USP. And, you know, that's something that I think they're going to get rid of the UMR, UTR, or something like that, because they have one more year contract with them. So that might expire. But that's another system that you can also just sign. You can just change your rating and go in and sandbag and play a 3-5. You know what I mean? You can just change it. You know, it's a little funky. It's real funky. Yeah, it's real cheeky.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people manufacture DUPR all the time, and I've experienced it where somebody's a 4.5 2 weeks earlier, and then they're a 3.9. You know, this is the problem. And like you say, you've hit the nail on the head. It's made for the professionals.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And you guess who developed it? Steve Kuhn, right?
And he's the CEO of USA Pickleball. Is that correct?
Steve Kuhn was the founder of the MLP and the DUPR. But where is he now?
Gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
So is there going to be a free version of this and a premium version?
Yes, there is a free version of it. Which is cool, but you also have a coaching version of it, or a rater. So, you know, there's another piece of the pie where you're going to be a rater, and you're going to actually, there's a sheet of like 40 questions that you can just take a photo after you've coached, say, a player. So I coached you guys, right? And then I turn in your sheets. The AI picks it up. I've already kind of mentally rated you. You can when you sign up for free, it's self-rated. So you just go in and you can self-rate yourself. And then if I come in and I give you a rating, then I'm going to tell you what you are and override your self-rating. And then the AI will kick in off of those sheets. And it'll be more perfectly accurate. And then you'll start to get your games recorded, and then you'll jump up and down. But it won't be those massive, like DUPR, you know, those big cuts, you know, 700 points. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you don't rate me in October, because on one day I can be a 1.5 and another day I can be a 4.5. So
well, yeah. So that's just it. When, you know, sometimes when you're playing with a partner too, that's where the games come into play. You know what I mean? But you won't be penalized for half an increment or a full increment of a point that you're playing with somebody, say 3-0 and 4-5, right? That 3-0 is I'm going to target 3-0, no doubt. Body bag all day, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell us about the adaptive pickleball.
What do you mean?
I read that you're working with disabled athletes and even having games that with able-bodied and disabled, which is fascinating.
Yeah, it's great, right? So I think actually Karen Mitchell has integrated some wheelchair pickleball, I think, this year.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. I'm glad she did that. She's just kind of following off of what the US Open was doing, which is very cool. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. So I used to train a lot of coach those guys. So they get 2 bounces, you know, per.
Yeah.
So I again, it's another heartfelt kind of part of the brand. Again, giving back to people that are not, you know, able-bodied, you know what I mean? So anytime, or even special ed, you know, that's a great thing to do too. I mean, some of these kids would love to just play pickleball and just have a good time, and, you know, all for it, you know? So I think that the more that we kind of get people into the game, being one leg, no arm, whatever it is, or, you know, not mobile, or somehow again, get them involved. You know, we just had some kids in Croatia that we're after in Croatia right now. We just did a tournament for those guys, and we gave them a bunch of, I mean, these guys are special needs, and they're holding it up, waving it. I mean, that's cool. Who cares? Who cares? I love that. You know?
Yeah, it's very humbling.
Yeah, even if they could hit the ball or something, you know, like that paddle, they're smiling and they've got braces on their arms and legs, and you know,
it's just really it's heartwarming to see a company that is giving back, because all these other, like the big names, I mean, they're not really interested in the people. You seem to be interested in the people, and I think that's such a humbling thing to have and to give back to people.
It's special.
Yeah, because there's no one else really that I know that does something like that. So I think, you know, for me, that makes the brand special.
Yeah, and it makes me want to use your paddles as well.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So well done for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I just think I'm sure there's big companies that do stuff, but
maybe. But you are doing it the right way for me, anyway.
Yeah,
I think
that's just because you like that paddle.
You're right.
Yeah. Send us a doggy.
I just need a bag to go with it.
Yeah,
but it's about 12 of those, so you need 12 paddles.
Yeah.
You're going out on tour like me.
So, can you tell us? Is there what's like coming up now? Can you give us like a scoop on the next thing for RAW?
It's you know, I've thought about just putting a titanium on the foam, but I mean, we don't need it. You know what I mean? The T700 is so good right now that I don't think we really need it. Again, I just did this shiny paddle, and you know, I've already been getting these in England. You know, I know Rob thought it was kind of funny, but I've already got some over there, and they're posting. You know, so I got the first paddle over here. But this
one actually posted something about.
Of course, this is going to be illegal, right? Yeah.
Why is it illegal?
Because shine in the sun might mess up your eye.
Right. Well, we're okay here then.
Yeah,
so it's okay. We don't get any sun.
We're okay. Right. Just put some black tape over it, right?
Yeah. So for anybody who's not watching on YouTube, we're looking at a paddle. What model is that? And it's got a goal. Is that an edge guard, or is that built in?
Yeah. So this is called an electrochrome. It's built. That's an actual edge guard there.
That's amazing. I'm getting one of those, and no one's going to know that that's illegal.
Well, it's not illegal.
Well, Franklin's got chrome, but it's just blue. It's a blue chrome and a blue red. They have a red color. It's the same material.
It just looks amazing.
It's just gold. So it's funny because the MLP has a team called the Dallas Flash, and guess what they have on their jerseys?
Gold.
This big shine of a lightning bolt all over their shirts.
Yeah. So what difference does it make? Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Whose ever palm you grease the most, you get.
We're getting that feeling.
What's your favorite paddle? What do you use as a matter of interest?
The one you got, and I use this.
Oh, really?
And this.
Right. Okay.
I like our excluder. We went back to a simple redesign and look of this paddle from our old design, but this is it's clean, you know? So, I mean, I like it. It's a clean paddle. It's fun. It's really light. It's kind of light like the one you have there, the 16. It's 7.9. This paddle is so light, but it generates a lot of power. I like it, you know?
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So all of these are available on
the pickleball people.
The pickleball people. And if you're in the USA or anywhere in the world, are they available where?
Yeah, I mean, we'll send international to what you're going to have to pay some shipping, you know, but some people pay the cost. It's not bad, but
yeah, it's worth it.
I'm just excited to bring the brand over to you guys. I wanted to do it last year. I met with Karen and talked with Karen last year, and I was to come out there last year and set up, but I didn't need 7 days of that, you know. And Telford, it's so far out of, it's nowhere, you know what I mean? So I'd be bored, I think, you know what I mean? So
you wouldn't be bored.
Yeah, we could entertain.
Yeah, you didn't know us back then.
in Telford?
Well, we're a couple of hours from Telford, but we'd have looked after you, you know.
So
the Americans coming now to Telford for the English Open. It's unbelievable.
Oh, good. Is that an ATP tournament?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Not at our level. Yes.
I still like, yeah. So, I mean, you'll see what Louis Laville and all those guys.
Yeah.
The American pros come over for the APP.
Jack Monroe was there last year.
Yeah. Megan Fudge. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I know Megan. So it's a funny story. Megan and Ryler were their first tournament was one of mine.
Oh, right.
St. Pete.
Right.
So I know Megan pretty good and Ryler.
Yeah,
you know?
she's lovely. She's really nice, Megan.
Yeah, they're good folks. They do a lot of travel.
Yeah, they do.
Just want to ask you before we wrap up.
Yeah.
One thing you would change, just one thing you would change about pickleball.
I think we kind of talked a little bit about it as far as the money grubbing, and things like that. I just wish every we could just do whatever we wanted to do without. I mean, I know that having a governing body for a long time has been the way to go, but I think it needs to elevate and let people be creative with smaller companies to be able to do what they want, still within a good range of, compatibility or whatever it is, as far as the product. I think that would be the biggest thing. I think the pay for play is just getting really out of control. I think that because so many players want to play now. So if they wanted to play their first tournament, then why should they go have this experience of paying a lot of money to have a good time and just a tournament? You know what I mean? So again, I've always told Rob, I'll come out, but we're going to support smaller festivals and smaller events because that's where we want our brand to be. And I mean, obviously, the English Open is getting really big, but again, there's a lot of money involved in that too right now, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, they're not money grabbing, but
no, that's cheap for me to go and play, right? So, but here it's different. It's different.
Do you ever just do you ever stop and breathe and just it must be so surreal, how far you've come and just the world of pickleball. What would you do without pickleball? Where would you be? And, it must be so surreal sometimes if you actually stop and think.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that addiction, right?
Yeah. That's why I don't stop and think.
Well, the only thing is for me as a higher level player, it's just in coaching this past weekend with 19 people, you know what I mean? You get all these questions. Everybody wants your full on attention, sometimes. So, and then I just want to play, you know what I mean? Because it's just usually it's nice when you get to do I play with a pro type thing at the end. So then I can, but I still whoop on them because they've kind of they've forgotten everything they've learned in the 2.5 hours. So that's why it's nice to play with Louis Laville and all those guys. But sometimes they're so young and they're studs, so they don't want to play with a 53-year-old sometimes.
We'll give you
I got to get Karen's husband to play with me when he comes to.
We'll give you a good game. Yeah.
Good.
We'll get 10 and we'll fold like normal. Just before you go.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, one more.
No, you're fine.
Number
53 minutes. That's not bad. 53 minutes. That's pretty good.
Number one coaching tip.
It's better than listening to referees talk, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Slightly.
Sorry.
Go on. Number one coaching tip off the top of your head.
Serve and stay. Return and run.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Yes. Don't serve and then move in so you don't get caught out with the
Pickleball
return.
101. Yeah, Pickleball 101. Yeah. And then, a lot of people don't come to the kitchen right away after they return the ball. They stay back, and that is just then it's well, so that whole thing is okay. So now how do I stop the bangers, Greg? I get banged on all the time. Well, you just created it because you served a short serve. Or you've returned a short return and you didn't come in, and you've just started the bang bang game because that's how it goes. And then you hit it 5 times in 0.0 or however they play, a bunch of kind of a bunch of hits to form it. It's the same thing again, just going back to this clink that I did this past weekend. The kid said, I love playing against a high caliber like you because you slow the game down. He's like, I just don't know how to slow the game down. And I can't, those cross court dinks that you hit are so angly that I pop it up after every angled cross court dink, and then you put it away. So, I mean, that's the fun setup that you like to create, because you got to for sure put away in a good time with that. And to me, that's more fun pickleball than bang, 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 and point over, you know?
Amazing.
As I said earlier, Greg, it's been fantastic to have you on the show. I'm really passionate about this brand and what you're giving back to the community.
So we're really excited to meet you.
Can't wait to see you when you come over, and thanks so much for coming on.
And as they say in England, you're a legend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Let's line them up and we'll get them working, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And anybody listening who wants to know about the clinics,
just
wherever you are in the world, but if you want to know more about England, we'll be pushing it in the weeks to come. So
love it.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.